Well, LinkedIn, the social networking site, reported their first earnings since going public earlier this year. Second quarter profit surged for the company. Well, we've got with us the CEO of LinkedIn, Jeff Weiner. John, staying with me because you and I have been talking so much about companies like these.
Yep.
Jeff, before we get to before we get to the stock and the earnings numbers, tell me about how the jobs market is affecting your business, because we know that a lot of people that go on your site are seeking jobs or seeking to hire people. What is your business telling you about the jobs market?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's encouraging that we saw some outperformance today. Unemployment moving in the right direction to 9.1%, and the beat on the number of jobs available. I think for us, we're in the position where we can create economic opportunity for people. Our core is about connecting talent with opportunity at massive scale. And when times get difficult like this, macroeconomically, people are hurting, and they turn to platforms like LinkedIn to find those kinds of jobs. And go ahead.
Okay.
Jeff, we should follow up. Are there any specific numbers that you watch? Nobody expects that the unemployment rate situation is going to change anytime soon.
Right.
But do you guys know if it's 9.5%, it's going to be that much different for our business than if it's 8.5%?
Yeah, I think we're looking more for directional cues. And another thing that I think we focus on, you don't hear as much about, is the JOLT report, job openings and labor turnover. It's a Department of Labor report. And at the last report, there were as many as 3 million job availabilities in this country. And I think there's an awful lot of focus on unemployment. We need to focus more on creating new jobs and making sure that the jobs that are already available can be connected to the people best able to fill those roles.
Jeff, you reported some really good numbers yesterday, surge in profit and revenue. Do you think this puts to rest those critics that said LinkedIn was overvalued at the IPO?
Yeah, we're not as focused on the valuation. We're going to leave that to the market. We're focused on our long-term plan, our fundamentals, and fulfilling the potential of our platform. We're at about 120 million members. We announced that yesterday. We're growing the fastest rate of absolute growth in the company's history as it pertains to members, 2 per second. And yet we believe there's as many as 640 million professionals in the world, and there's a global workforce of 3.3 billion professionals, or folks who can fill jobs. And so ultimately we're going to create economic opportunity for all of those folks.
You happy with how the stock price is traded?
Again, we're going to leave that to the market. When we were a privately held company, one of the things that was important to us is continuing to focus on the long term. And since we've become public, very thankfully, it's been business as usual.
And the last time Jeff spoke with us, there wasn't as much distance as in California today. He was getting mobbed that day. But just to follow up on that, what else have you learned since being public, Jeff? You say there haven't been a lot of differences, but I'm sure there are some things that are a little different.
If I'm being really candid with you guys, there haven't been as many differences as I would have expected. I think we had a good operating rhythm before we became public, and the things that have been most obvious to me are the sense of pride that I think we feel as an organization, and to some extent a greater sense of urgency. I think there was already a lot of passion in what we do, but I think it's been taken to the next level. And as Steve Sordello, our CFO, mentioned on the conference call yesterday, we had really strong traction coming out of Q1 going into the IPO, but certainly the IPO and all of the attention and focus on the company helped lift the company's profile and compounded some of the acceleration we had already started to see.
All right, Jeff, we're going to leave it there, but great to talk with you, and we'll see you hopefully here in the studio in September when you're here in New York. Jeff Weiner, the CEO of LinkedIn, after their earnings report. John